On this episode of Carnage, we've got a new engine and we're going for 9s. And by 9s I mean 10s. Definitely not 11s. Last time on Turbo Taxi, we ran 11.01 with this thing and then blew the motor up. Boom! Scattered the parts all over the track. 11.01. Why couldn't it have been a 10.99? But anyway, it's been a hectic few months. We've drag week, drag challenge, the Dodge build, all that stuff. I haven't had time to get to the taxi at all. So we've tapped the guys at Max Performance to pull the old motor out for us, whack this one in. So this is a brand new, well, good second-hand FG LPG motor from ACM Parts. So basically we've put valve springs, head studs in it. It's got an external wastegate now, Turbo Smart 50mm external gate, so better boost control. And if that isn't all enough, all that goodness, we're also going for a full set of Shockworks shocks. So that should get us launching off the line like a champion and just smash into the 10s. All right, so we've got Chris and Tim from Shockworks. Let's have a look. What do we got?
So here we have an inverted rear damper. We do this because when we were doing the GT Black for Pro Drive, we found that with the Bilstein adjustable, they had it mounted normally.
Yep.
And trying to get to your adjustments,
oh, of course,
you got to jack up the car every time. So we just inverted it. That way you also reduce your unsprung mass.
Beautiful. So springs as well.
Yeah, 7K rear spring and then a spring platform.
Let's have a look at the other end.
So you've got an adjustable spring perch there, so you can go up a factory ride height down to about 1.5 inches lower, something like that. So in all our kits, we also give gloves so you can keep your hands nice and clean while you're doing the install, if you do decide to do it yourself. So that whole insert.
There we go.
There.
Ooh,
and then from there,
coilovers.
Yeah, so we've got a spherical bearing top mount.
Wow.
Which doesn't really add any MVH or harshness to it because of the way we're able to valve the damper. We can relax the damper in one velocity so you don't have any sort of added harshness to it. So from factory, they have a really large dual path top mount, so that reduces a lot of the response you get from the factory damper. So by putting a top mount in there, a spherical bearing top mount in there, you get a lot more better response.
So you guys obviously put some of these in street strip cars already.
Oh, heaps, yeah.
Yeah. What sort of gains do you reckon?
Well, we had another guy running 9s, and he's doing a 1.4 on street tyres, complete standard IRS,
Full trim,
complete street car, running 9s, doing a 1.4.
1.4 60 footers. Yeah, cool.
So it's a pretty reasonable sort of thing, pretty reasonable sort of gain, and that valving is still completely street compliant. Like that's not a full blown drag setting where it's going to be overly stiff,
floaty and that,
floating or anything like that. This is still completely road compliant, still handles and rides better than the factory dampers, but you can get a lot more traction to the ground.
These guys are the experts. I'm going to leave it up to them because I reckon they can smash these out in like 30 minutes. So obviously it might take a bit longer today with us filming, but still, that's pretty impressive.
So we'll just sit them there and we'll guide them in when we lower the car down.
This is what came out. The little thing went back in.
Yeah, we don't do quite all that length.
Yeah.
Hey, you might need some new top arms there, Scotty.
Yeah.
Look at the angle of it. It's completely falling apart.
So what's going on, like the bushes?
Oh, completely, yeah. Because they're like avoid a bush from factory,
Yeah.
so it eventually just tears away from its lining.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's a bit knackered.
That shouldn't be like that. It's actually, I think its arm's twisted, man. Like, look at the angle of this compared to this here.
Well, this was the side that had the accident.
Well, that'll be it then. Yeah, I think you need a new arm. I don't know if it's the bracket or the armor. I think it might be the brackets possibly shifted across.
Yep. And this one, I reckon I'll be able to push out of the can entirely. That's completely separate.
Yeah, that'll be one.
Good tag.
There you go. It's coming out. She's no good, mate. They just fell out of it. That one will probably fall out later. Yeah, pretty much. Not ideal. Right. Sorry about your hand, mate.
So the boys reckon it's about half an hour to drop in a full set of shocks. That's front and rear, half an hour, which is awesome. But we ran into a bit of an issue with our upper control arm bushes. They were flogged out. So new bushes obviously slowed us down a little bit, but still, this thing's going to be on the road in no time.
So I won't do these nuts up with the arm like this. I'll wait until the arm is set to ride height and then do the nuts then. Just so you don't have any bind through any of the suspension bushings. Makes everything last a lot longer and it reduces MVH and makes the ride nicer as well. It's also important, always with the lower mounts on the front of the Falcons, to do this at ride height. Never do this when it's at full droop. At Ford, they actually put a load cell against the side of the factory damper, and they found that tightening them at full droop, it produced 80 kilograms of side load on the damper. So, yeah, whether it's an aftermarket or a factory damper, always do up your lower mounts at ride height. Otherwise, you'll wear your dampers a lot quicker.
My damper needs to go down about another, not even 10 mils. Yep, I'm done. Yeah, I put it
Well, the Shockworks guys have done their thing now. They've headed off, and now we've got Zane and the crew. They're going to hook into, well, we're all going to hook in and finish off the rest of the Turbo Taxi. Declan's doing a screamer pipe for the wastegate. We just got to hook up a couple leads and lines, and this thing is pretty much done, ready to fire up. Oh, geez. That's so tidy.
Look at it, it's too tidy.
Wow. So nice. So clean. Moment of truth time. It is December 5th today, and this thing hasn't run since July 1st. That's when we blew it up. So it hasn't run for a while. Everything's all buttoned up. Time to hit the key. This is literally the first time we're hitting the key. Might take a little bit for the gas to circulate. So the injectors in this thing are naturally loud. So you're not hearing rocker gear there, you're hearing the injectors. We're all good? Yeah. Cool. So we're at Burnouts in Canberra, turbo taxi time. So obviously we've put new shocks in, we've done some tuning with the new motor, we're ready to race, but unfortunately all the race meetings have been rained out. So we thought, why not take the taxi up to Burnouts, you know, have a bit of a fun.
Scotty, I talked to you last week and said, have we got something entered in the world record burnout? And now we've got the taxi lined up, you ready to roll?
I know, I mean, I just was driving guys down here to film the burnouts and we got directed into right in front of the grandstand. We're going to do a world burnout record right now with Turbo Taxi.
You going to send it?
Oh, definitely going to send it. This thing smokes them real easy. So, yeah, we're going to make some clouds. This is going to be awesome. I'm so pumped. Just going to send it! We've got like 130 plus cars out here. The pad is packed. There is just thousands of horsepower here. It's just amazing. And it's amazing that we're getting a chance to do this, like be part of this. It's going to be off the chain. It's just unreal. So, Turbo Taxi. Woo!
Send it!
The count we've come up with today is 126.
Probably didn't do as good as I would like, but we skipped forward a little bit, nudged up against the wall, but once I hit the wall, I was like, all right, just send it. So we've done that, world record achieved, got a medallion for it, woohoo!
big part of summer nets. Doing a skid, a massive part of summer nets. We've done both. That was awesome.
Hope you enjoyed that, mate.
Yeah, we did. Thanks very much. Cheers.
We're here for the Super Cruise. It's a bit of rain coming down. The stands are full. It's going to be a good night.
Mr. Chief Henry, how about it? Great job. This Chief still out of joint. He's no right, those fellas. Around all weekend. Well, that's the Turbo Taxi, isn't it? Terror right there. What a sweet machine.
So we're down at the Heads Up Go to Woe. It is Sunday. They've given us no practice at all really, so we're pretty much jumping in the deep end here with Turbo Taxi. But she's going all right. Goes pretty hard, this thing, I tell you. The new wastegate controls the boost beautifully. Jason's done a bit of tweaking on the tune. We haven't had a chance to race this thing yet, hopefully soon. So we'll see how she goes in this Go to Woe. Turbo Taxi is running, and we've just come back from Summer Nats. It's got a couple extra little battle scars, but that's okay. But there's one thing we've got to do before we take this thing out to Calder Park on Friday night. It is Wednesday right now, so we've got 2 days to get this thing ready for Friday night, where we're going to run a 10. Definitely run a 10. Anyway, so I've got to hook up another boost line to our little boost solenoid. So we've got our wastegate here, 50mm Turbo Smart goodness. So I've got to plumb a line from there over to our boost solenoid, which is controlled by the ECU up under the dash, that Haltech 2500. That is the plan anyway. Want some proper boost control on this thing so we can go 10s easily. Anyway, let's get to work. Bit of goop. All right, let's see how we go. Into there, couple cable ties, beautiful. Okay, we should be ready for boost now. Let's crank it up. So it is lunchtime, we're down at Tunnel Vision. We're about to head out to the track, but first we want to run this thing up on the hub dyno. So new thing for Turbo Taxi, never been on a hub dyno before. So we're going to test this thing out, run some boost into it. We'll probably find a nice level where it's safe. We're really worried about fuel delivery and consistent fuel delivery, because it is impossible to control how the fuel flows with fuel pressure and temperature and all that sort of stuff. LPG is a pain in the butt. All right, so we're going to run this thing up, see where we're at. I think we'll end up at about 18 or 19 psi. That should be enough to run 10s. That is the aim. All right, well, let's see what it does on the dyno.
We're just gonna send it!
I mean, this car is an official world record holder. So this is the moment. We're out at Calder Park. We're going to see if this thing even gets close to a 10. It should. It has more boost than ever before. It should be ready to run. I've got a fresh motor in it, proper boost control. Everything should be right. But I haven't raced this thing since July when we blew it up, so I've got to almost relearn how to drive it. It's going to be interesting. Well, it does smoke them. AC off. Well, that was disappointing. So what happened is the engine protection cut in. So we've got to plug in and work out why it's cut in. After the last effort, we punched the rods out. We decided to switch on the engine protection. But obviously it didn't like something on that run. And yeah, we've got to find out why. So Jason's going to come up with a laptop, plug in, and we'll see what the hell is going on. All right, this is our second run. Made some adjustments in the computer. We're going to see if this is the run. Did the same thing as last time, but not quite as bad. Got smashed by the Starlet. Alrighty, so that was terrible. We're not really getting any better at the moment, but essentially this is a new setup with a new external wastegate and everything. The engine's got different air and fuel demands, and we're still getting our heads around it. So it's a bit frustrating. I was hoping we'd go straight into the 10s or even lower 11s, you know, first up, but hopefully we'll get there. We just need that perfect launch. At the moment, it's not giving it to us. We've had 3 pretty average runs tonight. Jason reckons he's worked out the problem. Hopefully, this will be the run. Here we go. There's no trouble turning the tyres, I will tell you. Wheel spun. Jesus. There she goes. Top-ended, but just wheel spun off the line, something fierce. Never done that before. Well, that's it for tonight from Calder Park Raceway. Only managed to get 4 runs, best of 12.5, which is pretty ordinary for this beast because it's been a long time since we come home from a meeting and only run 12s. So, but that's the problem you'd have when you make big changes to cars, and we've made some big changes to this thing. Obviously, we need to do some more tuning. I think we got around it a little bit towards the end because it absolutely bagged the tyres off the start line. So this thing's making some power, so now we've just got to find a track to hold it. So here we are, Calder Park, we're back again. Now we're here a couple of weeks ago with Turbo Taxi. Obviously we had some issues with the car going super rich on the line. It was like a fuel tamp issue, and it was going super rich, and it was just falling on its face at the beginning of every run. So we sorted that out by the end of the night, and we just lit them up. So we know we're going the right direction. So here we are again. It is straight A, and we're here with Turbo Taxi to see if we can finally run those numbers. So it's actually a competition meeting today, so we don't know how many runs we're going to get, but we're going to try our best to get some passes down the track and hopefully run a decent number. At this stage, I'll take anything in the lower 11s, but you know where we want to be. You know the number, that's where we want to be. So time to get some tyres on this thing, get it ready, and let's go racing. First run. Should be warm outside. See how we go with that. I couldn't really build, I only foot braked it off the line. 11.57, just foot braking it, feels really good. So I just wanted to take it easy on the first pass just to see where that'd get us. Make sure that it was not going to do anything weird, it wasn't going to fall on its face or anything, and it didn't do any of that. So 11.57, good start, and now we can just try building some boost on the line and really seeing if this thing will do what we want it to do. So later on, when it cools down a bit, I reckon could go really well. So we managed 2 runs so far. We started off with 11:57. That was with a really soft foot braking, just bring the boost up a little bit. 11:57 with a 187 60 foot, which isn't setting the world on fire. So I went around, hot lapped it, and it didn't really like it. I think there was just too much heat in the combo. Went quicker on the 60 foot by over 1/10, but slower down the track. So I think it's just too much heat in at the moment. It's 28 degrees. It doesn't really like this temp. I'm just gonna let it cool down a bit, let the temps come down, and then we'll go out and really lean on that start line. And yeah, hopefully we'll see a much better number. We just broke something in the transmission area. It's never done one of them before. Fudge nugget! So frustrating. It looks like we've blown the transmission. Well, 99% sure that is the case. I mean, we haven't had it up on the hoist yet, but I reckon that's what's happened because it launched the best it ever has. And then, bang, box full of neutrals. It has no gears. It's got nothing except a lot of crunchy noises. So, looks like we're up for a new transmission and we've already found one. So we're gonna put another transmission in this thing. It's already back here at max performance where the boys are gonna get it up on the hoist and we're gonna put another trans in this and go for 10s next time on Carnage.